Some of you may remember the server called Felmyst. Since then, it is not active anymore. That is because it was originally supposed to be a short seasonal server, a Blizz-like TBC server that was just supposed to go from A to B and be done with a new server shortly afterward, and it would just be seasonal from there. Well, that's not what they're going to be doing anymore. Instead of creating a Felmyst 4.0, because I believe the last one was 3.0, instead of doing that, they are coming out with a brand new server called Skullcrusher. Skullcrusher is not quite being led by Gummy. Gummy is still a part of the project, but we are now going to be looking to Thanadin, who is the new general manager of this project. Now, what is this project? Let's get into it. Now, as I mentioned before, Felmyst was a seasonal server. Skullcrusher, on the other hand, is looking to be a permanent server, one that will stay forever and not just reset at the end of a season. The entire purpose and point of this server is to be the 2007 TBC as intended versus as it actually was. Anytime you see a Blizz-like server, it usually tries to replicate how it was, including the classic TBC that Blizzard put out, which, by the way, the footage you are seeing here is of the TBC Classic from Blizzard. I do not have any footage of Felmyst, so you're gonna have to deal with that just for the atmosphere of it all. Anyway, back to what I was saying. Given what we have of Blizzard's mindset at the time of 2007 with various BlizzCons and the like, they have gone through what the original developers have said about the game, and they wish to make TBC as it was intended, including fixing all of the exploits and bugs that were present at the time. With that being said, there will be no cash shop, no cross-faction. However, there will be a faction lock to prevent overpopulation of a certain faction. They will do proper itemization in their progression, which means all of the items and stats of 2.0 will be of 2.0 rather than 2.3, for an example. As I said, Skullcrusher is to play the game as intended, not as it was. So that means no exploits. They will be fixing line of sight and pathing exploits, and they will no longer work. NPCs will be updated to play a little bit more smarter than they used to, including better pathing and better ability usage altogether. This will not change the core design of the game, and it will instead utilize what is already there. An example is there will be no add-ons permitted, not a single one. For the various UI implementations that usually people would make add-ons for, they believe there is plenty in the current existing TBC UI that you can utilize to complete the game. And in my opinion, I agree with them. If many of you have seen my streams, do not use any add-ons whatsoever, not even Questy. At the most, I might have one that tells me the vendor selling price of an item, but that's usually as far as I go. Another thing is that the AoE cap that Blizzard had implemented usually would reduce the amount of DPS you could do, as it would limit the amount of NPCs you could hit with AoE. Instead, if I heard this right, Skullcrusher plans to change the AoE cap so that it will not limit the amount of NPCs you can kill, but instead it will reduce the amount of experience gained. Therefore, you will not lose DPS and you can still kill all of the NPCs you want to at the same time. However, you cannot use it as a method of fast leveling if you're a mage, which kind of goes back to the no exploits, or exploits won't work as intended, or rather as you expected. One thing though, and this one I'm a little bit iffy about, is that because they want to go as the intended route and try to bring back the 2007 nostalgia, they will not be turning on the Discord chat. The Discord chat has been turned off. You can still go to the Discord for various updates on the server, but you cannot talk within it or do any sort of posting. And they will be continuing this as they encourage everyone to go post on their forums, just as we used to do back in the day with forum posts. And on top of that, now this one is going to be a little bit more contentious with people, but they plan on moderating using heavily the in-game chat with AI. And that's pretty much all we know of Skullcrusher so far, at least what Fanadin has said in the several videos that they've been posting over the last couple of weeks or so. So, I personally will not be playing the server, not for anything that they're doing. I actually really like that they're trying this again, but taking out all the exploits, taking out all the bugs, well, as much as they can do. I'm sure there might be one or two that they overlook or miss or something, because that just happens with video game design. It happens. But all of the known ones that we've known for 15, 17 years now, they'd be fixing. No add-ons, stuff like that. Like, I'm personally okay with all of that. I actually encourage other servers to do this as well. The reason why I'm not playing this server is because with all of the various expansions of World of Warcraft, TBC, I'm not going to say I don't like it. I'm going to say it's very mid in my opinion. I personally think TBC is mid. I don't care for a lot of the things that it added to the game that kind of changed the game for the worse, and even the good stuff, I can't really get over some of the other facts to enjoy it as much, and I personally don't like the feeling and aesthetics of Outland. It's just, again, my personal opinion. I just think it's mid. A lot of good things, and then some kind of meh things, but that's one of the reasons, and another is because I'm just playing way too many servers right now. I'm literally playing on Turtle WoW. I'm going to be playing Epoch WoW. I've played it several times during the betas, Azeroth at War, and I'm currently playing Stormforged in its endgame, so I'm just playing way too many servers right now. On top of, I have a second channel where I play a lot of survival games and review them, so on top of all the other stuff I do, so I just cannot take on another server right now. I'm only planning to cover the news of this server, just as I do a few others that I'm unable to play at the time. But anyway, if you want to hear news of Felmyst or see news or even gameplay of the other servers that I cover and play, make sure you like this video, subscribe. Like I said, I cover many World of Warcraft private servers, as many as I can on my schedule. So until then, I will see you guys next time.